name is Hayden Gaspard. I'm the Commercial Director of Special Projects here at Acclaim Energy, and today I would like to take a few minutes to chat with you about microgrids. Specifically, I want to address a few common questions that we've seen from our reliability customers and others in the marketplace regarding microgrids. The first question is, what exactly is a microgrid? So there's a few different answers and levels of complexity you could get into answering this question, but what I'm referring to specifically is an emergency generator that is connected to the grid. That is, it can generate power to serve the load in the event of an emergency, or it can export electricity back to the electric grid. Another common question we get is, what's the point of a microgrid? Why do that as opposed to a standalone emergency only generator? There's a few answers to that. The most important in our eyes is increased reliability. When you're operating in a parallel with the utility, you have the ability to do what's called a blinkless transfer, where you can switch your facility from being powered by the utility grid to being powered by your generator, and you never lose power. This allows you to test under load much more frequently than if you have an emergency only generator, where you either have to shut your facility down or bring in a load bank to test. Because you can test more frequently, you're able to catch any issues with the generator before an emergency arises. Additionally, you can export to the grid. This is both another way to test under load and a way to monetize that piece of equipment. If you need an emergency generator, one way to offset the cost is participating in demand response programs or selling electricity back to the grid. Because you're operating in parallel and can export, you can take advantage of both of those. Another question we often get is, how is a blinkless transfer even possible? So the simple answer is, your generator is connected to the utility grid with a parallel switchgear. So you begin running your generator, you synchronize it with the frequency of the grid, and then you shift your load from the utility grid to the generator. The generator stays synchronized with the grid, exporting a small amount or as much as you'd like. That makes it possible to participate in peak management or demand response, or to sell power back to the grid without ever having to shut your facility off. In fact, the only time your facility should lose power is when there's a power outage on the grid, at which point your emergency generator will do what it's designed to do, start and begin powering your facility. So when we explain this microgrid concept to people, a lot of them immediately question the revenue side and say, well, how does this all work? I don't know anything about demand response or selling electricity or peak shaving. How do I know how to do this? The short answer is, you don't have to know how to do it. Acclaim handles all of this remotely. We can remotely activate these generators so that you're curtailing load when you need to be, you're exporting power when you need to be, and when market conditions are right, you're selling electricity to the grid and making money from it. From the customer's aspect, all they do is have a generator installed that's more reliable and generates revenue for them on the side. So that's a little bit of an overview about microgrids and some of the questions we get. There's hundreds of other questions, and a lot of them are specific to an individual site or an individual customer. So if that intrigues you, if you have more questions about microgrids, or you think it may be a good fit for your facility, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can learn more about Acclaim at acclaimenergy.com, or you can call us directly at 713-524-0250. Thanks.